So nevertheless, nice to see you guys right now. Let everybody, 10 plus people, whatever, trickle in. They need to be on time. That's how that works. But nevertheless, man, hey, so today's topic is going to be on a woman's narrative mind. I just thought about it and I was like, you know what? I feel like nobody never talks about that. And that's why I want to have more young men here, which I have some invited. They're coming in. But nevertheless, to actually go over how a woman tends to think and dating life and all these gems and like that. So I got a dope little video for play for us, and then we can get it right into it. So without further ado, let's get it. Da, 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 da. It's gonna be funny too, so you gotta prepare yourself.
Crazy, women a little crazy on you, That's the problem with the men and women situation is, here's the actual, I've broken it down what the problem is. The problem is that women are always thinking, always. Their brains are continuously working. They never stop thinking. It doesn't have to be about them or you. They're just thinking about it all the time. Right now, Vicky could be sitting there looking at the stage going, I wonder what that stage is made out of. Just in her head. See, she's laughing because that's what she was thinking just now. She's like, I wonder what it is made out of. Is that microphone heavy? What if it's a heavy microphone? They're just always thinking. They're just thinking all the time, even when they're sleeping. That's why women will always wake up, I had a weird dream. I wake up and go, I wish I could remember my fucking dreams. I don't remember my dreams. Oh my God. You ever had your girlfriend wake up from a dream and she dreamt about you and you did some stuff in her dream and she wakes up mad at you? Hey baby, don't touch me. What did I do? You know what you did. I woke up. I wish you didn't. But women are always thinking. Their brains are continuously moving. They're always exercising that brain. See, guys have the ability to do something that women can't do. I don't know if you can't do it or if you just choose not to. I don't know if you're afraid your brain will shut off if you do this or something. But guys have the ability to sit there for like 15 minutes, stare off into space, and think about nothing. Like nothing. When I say nothing, I mean there isn't one single thought in our head. Like if you were to put a camera in our head to see what we were thinking, it would just be a blank screen. At best, a screensaver. That's it, just this. Women can't handle that shit. Because women will always come over to you when you're having your 15 minutes of thoughtless time. And always come over. What are you thinking about? Have you ever noticed how scared we get when you do that? What are you thinking about? Something about. And we tell you what we're thinking about. Nothing. Now here's the thing, about a month into a relationship, a woman will look at you and go, promise me something. Sure, anything, what? Promise. You'll never lie to me. I promise. And that's the first time we lie to you. It's messed up is when you tell your woman the truth and that's the wrong answer. You tell her the truth and that's not what she wanted to hear. They tell you never lie to me, we tell you the truth and it's not what you want to hear. It doesn't have to be a good truth or a bad truth, it can just be an indifferent truth, but they don't want to hear about it. That's why when they ask me, what are you thinking about? And we go, nothing. We just told you the truth. But that's not what you wanted to hear. Come on, you had to be thinking about something. No, it wasn't. It wasn't nothing.
It's almost over.
There wasn't anything in my head, nothing. Really? They start accusing you. Why won't you tell me what you're thinking? What do you think, I'm hiding my thoughts? Even if I was, they're my thoughts. If I wanted them to be real, I would have said them. You always do this. Do what?
Why would you tell me what you're thinking about?
Because I wasn't thinking about anything.
Share with me. And that's the end of the
What do you
video.
want?
Oh.
What a job that.
So that's the end of the video, and it definitely gives like a random glance of some things that we can all relate to, but better yet, actually show how women mind, y'all never stop. And nothing wrong with that, but you just got to understand the entity that you're dealing with. So
Malia.
What was your
right?
Listen, don't blame me, all right? I'm sorry.
That was Obama's daughter. What do you mean?
Look, I don't think about Obama like that. I barely know Barack.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's stuff I look.
But why is it that you guys just sit there? I've heard that before. Like men just don't have as many thoughts as we do. Is it because that we're more emotional and you guys are more logical? Like what is the reason why y'all just brains are just filled with air sometimes?
It's not that it's filled with air, it's that it's going to constructive energy. Like when you're thinking, there's a lot of energy sometimes, but better yet for me wise, whenever when a man is thinking, it's like, okay, we gotta get going. Once we don't have to think no more, we're like, cool, we chilling. That's why we play games. We could be airheads. We could just be playing. We could just be in the same motion and things of that nature. But like for women wise, I think it's a sign that you always want to be connected. Y'all thinking y'all always connected in everything, and you have to be. Whenever whenever y'all have kids, whenever you have family, like cool, y'all never could be like, hey, how's everything going? What's going on? Y'all doing calls and lunch breaks. When a guy goes out to the world, hey, look, I'm gone, shawty. I'm locked in to where I'm going, and I'm not thinking about nothing else. And when I come home, I don't want to think about nothing.
Got you. Makes sense.
So I think it's more of a connection thing. But nevertheless, Reeves, man, how do you feel about that? Well, you just came back. So Chios, how do you feel about that video, man?
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Like I related to that way too well. Because my last relationship, yeah, she used to do that all the time. She'd be, we'd be in the room just chilling and everything. And at some point she really would look over at me like, what are you thinking about? And I'm like, nothing at all. Not one thing in the world. She's like, you have to. There's so many things to think about. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I don't think sometimes, because like that's so much energy like that I could conserve until I need to move or do something. Like I'd rather just let it go,
What you left for? Hold on, what you left for?
He just said there's so much energy I can conserve.
There's a lot of energy.
As if thinking takes all the energy.
Like, why am I thinking? Like, why would I sit there and think? You know what happens when you think too much in a guy's head? You start to spiral.
But it's like, why are you think?
You get a little too deep. When you think and you just sit there and you're constantly in thought, at some point you're gonna hit like a roadblock. You know what I mean? Because the more you think about something, is the less it makes sense sometimes, and after a while you're gonna like crash out doing that. Whereas like if you stop every now and then, just clear your head. Feel me? Let your mind rest. Like when you do have to think, it's so much easier to think clearly because you're not like constantly running your mind. Because I've been there. I've been at a point in my life where like I'm constantly thinking, and yeah, it drained me. So
to even compile upon that, think about how we were actually born and raised, how boys are grown versus girls are grown. Girls are always taught, you got to think, you got to be cautious, you got to do this, you got to do that. Y'all basically, like how girls are more brought up, is more based upon maturity of thoughts and thinking and carrying yourself versus guys. Boy, get up and go do this like that, go do that and like that. Cool. It's more so just action based, not thinking based. It's more to do what you're told kind of type of vibe. And that's just my take on that. But that's just more so why this type of topic, and I'm glad I'm recording it, so whoever didn't come, they could just play it back themselves. But even more so to really compile upon the female narrative, I definitely wanted to switch the subject and kind of like just like in life, like for instance in life, I was thinking how the impact of like breakups to a man, it could be harder than a woman, I would say, because we're not emotional creatures. So when we have an emotional experience, it hit us differently than how it would a woman, because you guys are emotional creatures. And this is something y'all always deal with and keep going on and going on. Versus a guy, we gotta like, this ain't where I'm supposed to be at. It's easy for us to just shut off. We don't want to navigate these turns, but we tend to time certain things that hit us so hard, we have no choice but to confront that. And it could be a hard process for us to process. Chios, can you agree to that?
Absolutely.
For sure, for sure. And Reese, man, I want some of your input, brother, but I see you out in the wilderness right now.
Yeah, I'm on a mission right now. I'm listening though. I'm definitely tuning in.
For sure, for sure. What's some of your feedback so far? He going back on his mission. Okay. All right. Nevertheless. Nevertheless. Hey Vera, how you doing, Vera?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are y'all doing?
Oh, good.
Amazing.
Long
So
time.
today, for sure, it's been a while. So today's topic actually is a female's a woman's narrative mind, and we just had a dope little video we kind of played over, and I'll send it to y'all later. But nevertheless, like for a female's mind, how do you think about a woman overthinking things? Is that a superpower or is that bad in your take? Even though you're a woman, but let me get an even playing field answer.
In my perspective, it's not a superpower because based on my level of overthinking, because I do overthink things a lot, I think it's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree. Definitely a bad thing.
Overthinking is a bad thing versus
It
we in the
can
world.
be. Yeah, because sometimes, like, as a woman, you can overthink yourself into a bad mood or into like thinking of a situation that may never actually even happen. And then that's where you have to be logical and you have to kick yourself out of it. And just like he said, one of the dudes, you have to clear your mind and gather your thoughts because it definitely happens. I don't like.
And when I say that, I mean from two different perspectives, because me, I'm an overthinker. Kayla, she is not. She is free thoughts, just instant decision, carefree when it comes to doing things, and just doesn't think in depth in reference to things. So I'm always overthinking it to the point where I can just lead myself, to something negative, like she said, or a change of decision. So that's why I say that.
Yep. I agree.
Gotcha. I would say as a man, what do y'all think he needs to be whenever y'all in that type of mode? Because it seems like you're in that mode damn near every day. Anything could trigger y'all to go in that spiral. So like what kind?
Not necessarily. I just take stuff for face value when it comes to relationships, just anything. Like I just take it for what it is. Not, you have to, in order to not overthink, like let's say, for example, for like in relationships, you can't think about like what something could be or the potential in something. It is what it is. So I'm not going to overthink myself. No, because then that's when you start getting into these negative spaces. Mm-mm.
But you can say that from experience though. You just
Absolutely.
So why is that little girls, I would say, is not really being taught how to conduct themselves in certain situations? Or y'all feel like in life, you can't be taught things, you have to experience it and then be able to.
You have to. I know grown women that are like the same age as me and they still do not understand how men are at all. Like they just don't get it. And I have to sit there and tell them, like, men are this way. They're logical. It's really no gray area with y'all, really at all. So like what you're seeing is technically what you're getting. So don't think anything else into it.
True.
And that's just what it is.
Do you feel like that compound kind of like into like when women do overthink is more so they're not used to actually having a man who just is what he is? And I think that's just like how it is nowadays. A lot of men don't be what they are. Because I think like for now, women are morphing because there's an absence of men. Unfortunate to say.
I don't know, because I can't really gather what I'm trying to say, but I wouldn't necessarily say that. I just feel like it just honestly comes with maturity and experience, how to master your own thoughts.
Gotcha. I definitely understand that. And then Reeves, man, I see you back in the car, man. What are some takeaways in a sense for you, man, since you've been dealing with the women and stuff like that with the narrative mind and how you've been able to go about navigating it and dating wise? You're on mute right now, brother. Oh, you having a conversation, brother? I was talking to you, Reeves.
Oh no, you good. I was asking if she wanted to answer the conversation.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you got another one. There we go, man. Shit. No.
Wow.
So the question at hand right now. So today's topic is going over a woman's narrative mind. So we're kind of going over how the complexities of a woman always overthinking and things of nature. But I was more so asking, and why do women attend to nowadays? I would say we understand that when you get with a man and talk to a man, it's kind of like it is what you is, but versus nowadays, women kind of overthink it. Why do you think that is?
the woman opens the gate, you said?
Overthink it.
Overthink. Insecurities. I feel like modern women are not as secure because they try to compete with men at a man's game because it's a man's world. So that's just what's going on. And I think that they're overthinking because they're trying to think like a man and be the man at a man's game. But if you just rest within your femininity, then there's nothing to really overthink.
I agree.
Yeah, I feel like in this day and age right now, unfortunate to say, man, it's like I feel like women are trying to compete with us, but y'all don't realize how powerful y'all are. like we can't compete with y'all. We just looking to maximize our own lane. But it seems like I guess the female gender is kind of coming.
Women try to compete with men is because men try to downplay women so much. Like that's just honestly point blank.
I get where it comes from though.
Like,
what do you mean where it comes from? What are you talking about?
Like she's right. You know, it is because like, you know, men do downplay women a lot, you know, a lot of their achievements. You know, I've seen it. You feel me? Like I've had to talk some of my home girls up after they just got downplayed at wherever they're working or whatever, you know what I mean? But yeah, at the same time, that still stands for the truth that like shit that women be trying to compete with us on. There's no reason to. Like, trust me, we don't want to be doing half of the shit we doing. I'm telling you, like we don't. We wish we didn't have to do it. You know what I mean? If it's not something that's driving me and gives me purpose, I don't want to do it. I just have to. You know what I mean? Like I'm stuck having to do this. It's just a part of the you know, chain of life. And it's just like there's no reason to compete over it. You know what I mean? Like, so I think it goes both ways. It's like we should be allowing women more space within the world, but at the same time, we also they need to understand that like there's no reason to compete with us because trust me, when you get to the top of this, you're not gonna want it either. You know what I mean? Like you're not. Most people don't.
Gotcha. I would say the biggest thing I say is absence. Nothing wrong with competing in friendly competition, but I would say it's too competitive. It's too like really ingrained nowadays. It's like low key. Why has it got to this point of like, why are we really competing with each other as the opposite genders? Like,
yeah, I was about to say, like, why do you think that women are like that? Because honestly, like he just said, a man shouldn't downplay what a woman has achieved in her life. But in the same instance, most men, when I speak to them, you can have all the master degrees, whatever. You can make more than a man. But honestly, when a man wants to marry you, he's not concerned with those type of achievements at all.
Yep. Ultimately, I mean, it makes a man feel like a man. I mean, that's the end of the day, what we've been conditioned and what we see. Like if we don't provide everything, then how
exactly.
And now it's evolving. Now men nowadays, I mean, if we don't provide everything, we don't even have a chance.
That's well, not everything, because you know, most of these men, not most, but men, for instance, a lot of men out here, I noticed, not ones that I deal with, but they just want a woman to go 50-50. You want a woman to go 50-50, but then you still want her to clean up the house and tend to the children and tend to you. That is not how that works.
No,
it's not how it works.
Unfortunate to say, men don't understand that old frame of living is dead. We both got to do both. And I tell her that, like, I've never been the type that you cook and clean all this. Like, no, especially because of the military, but never.
Right.
It's like, I'm going to do it all. This needs to get done. We need to eat. We rather have a clean environment to feel safe, feel neat and stuff like that. All that needs to be done. And ultimately, it's about being a great roommates together. And if we can't do that, then why would I give you that responsibility? That's stupid. And also, kids-wise, that's my kids too. Like, what are you talking about? So I think men don't understand that anymore. And I think by men having that stigma in their brain of understanding that, then men could evolve. Because a lot of men still have the old way of thinking. And I think that's the problem. A woman has evolved their way of thinking. And I think that's just the absence of the frequency that's we in the shit because nowadays.
Like, also too, like kind of compiling off of you, I think about it like this: a man that's like, oh, okay, let's go 50-50 or whatever. But yeah, you cook, you clean, and everything like that. But yet we have children, and you make sure you take care of the kids. Now, if I decide to go on vacation, is my kids gonna wither away and die of starvation because you're feeding my child chicken nuggets and Happy Meals and shit like that?
Exactly.
I can't trust that. I'm not okay with that.
Yeah, so, I 100% agree.
Think about that, Chios, man. They have to be connected at all times. So they gonna know what the hell the kids
I don't
doing.
know what you're.
They have
I can't sit there and vacation at ease or just even have a girls' night at ease or whatever, knowing that this man is not honestly holding his weight in that regard.
I agree.
So wait, so I want to ask, like, so that's about like if a guy doesn't cook and clean and do all those things like diligently on his own. That's what you're saying, right?
That's a horrible thing. If a
Nah,
man can't
Terrible thing. Like,
well, think about it, bro. Like, for instance, for me, right?
that's not even like funny right there. Like,
Well, think about it. Think about it just like every day. I don't know why men don't think about it every day. I need to eat. I need to clean every day for myself.
Right.
And
I was having that conversation the other day. Like,
you can't. I don't expect a woman to do it for me. I've been doing it way before I met her.
Right.
that's exactly.
I mean, if you believe in Christianity, there was Adam before there's Eve. Basically, Adam had responsibility all by his damn self. He didn't.
Exactly.
He wasn't created to take over.
Right.
She wasn't made. She wasn't made for that. Now, men, we can hold our own shit down, but she's there to support, not take over. And I think men, yeah, men is. I don't hate to say it, they all fucked up. I don't understand that. And even more so with women deal. Like for instance, me when I was more in dating, I'm like, bro, I'm cooking and cleaning. Women were like, you lying. I thought, like, I'm like, why would I lie to you?
Yeah, because
That's a
a
simple
lot of
person.
men, they don't know how to cook. I know men that eat fast food every day.
I know.
I'm dead serious.
Bro, I'm staying with homeboy now, and I'm telling you, bro. I got here, I was like, nah, bro, we going to the grocery store. I'm cooking. I'm not doing that shit you be doing. I'm good. I'm not ordering a plate.
Unfortunate thing with cooking is not even hard. And better yet, even if you don't know how to do it, YouTube has instruction. It's just it's too much not to apply yourself nowadays. That's why it's unfortunate when you meet somebody who can't clean or cook. It's unfortunate, and it reflects too much of like, bro, you don't want to do it. That's
Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I gotta get this off my chest though. Speaking of, like, you know, it's tragic as a man that knows how to cook. I be getting in relationships with women that know how to cook too, and then they find out I can cook like really good, and then they don't want to cook at all, bro. Like, I'm in the kitchen,
like, now you got it, you good.
I feel like I'm paying the karma for every man that has never cooked.
I
his woman, that's why,
you want to know why?
up.
Because they never met, like, they just never met nobody like you, and they need to like breathe like, damn, I can breathe with this, and holy crap. But you have to tell them that too. It's like, it's more so if you don't cook today, then I'm gonna cook. It's gonna get done with or without you.
I swear to God, I tried that.
But there's no pressure. But she has to be able to do that. I mean, for me, my last relationship, I did it for like 3+ years straight. I cooked, clean. I did all that. She wasn't on that type of time.
She didn't do nothing.
She wasn't made that way. She wasn't raised up that way. And I was expressing to her constantly to like, hey, I think you need to start to learn, do this stuff, not for me, for yourself, but better get for a family if you want to have it. Because I'm not going to be doing all this and paying the bills. That don't make sense. But I would have thought it would have clicked over time. But she just made in the sense that she needs to be the breadwinner and be able to pay for it. That's just how she was on type of time, which is fine. Yeah. But nevertheless, throughout that time, it took to even get to that point. I'm like, no, because I was on the mind state like, damn, if I go on vacation, what the hell my kids gonna eat? Yeah. I was on that type of time. And I'm like, no, shout it. But nevertheless, it just expressed to me that I never put that pressure on a woman. I just always, my root of things, when I ask women to do something, it's not for me, it's for themselves. It kind of corresponds to the unit. Because end of the day, I mean, if you're going to be with somebody on a date and stuff like that, whatever you can do by yourself is great. Because when we come together, it just makes it that much more easier when we do it together. Because we both can do it.
That woman was definitely in her masculine energy for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, well, I mean, honestly, I guess I was more so on some feminine shit because I wouldn't put my foot down. I wasn't the type of guy that I'm nowhere near him now. It wasn't even close. I mean, she had a glance at that. I was more of a yes guy, unfortunately, but I didn't kill them over and put that to rest. Nevertheless, so like even more. So let's get more deep into this. Okay, there Mr. Outlaw go because I was wondering where he went. He probably did want to go smoke one, Mr. Outlaw. So nevertheless, even more so, let's get more into deep. Hey, Ty, man, welcome back, brother. Mr. Outlaw, you've been missing some good stuff so far. But luckily, bro, I've been recording it, so you've been good. But no, getting more into the topic, I wanted to ask Chios more so too, because I know you're currently dating. What are some things that you're kind of like interested in kind of making sure that you try not to mess up in this dating phase versus last, and you want to ask the woman?
what I don't want to mess up is pace. I'm definitely not trying to mess up the pace. I'm enjoying this time around, just like really talking and getting to know who she is, like really, really being her friend. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy that. It's like it's not off the table. Like we both know what's up, but it's just like let's chill off of that and just talk about interests and goals in life and things like that. Like let me understand you. And like usually you hear some dope shit and you're like, okay, yeah, let's give this a try. But this time I want to really pace it out, you know what I mean, and actually understand it. So there's something that can be built there, you know what I mean? Because worst come to worst, we realize, all right, we're maybe not that compatible that way, but we didn't let things get too far and we can still have a dope friendship and build something. And I think that would make the relationship all that much stronger in the end. You know what I mean?
I got a question for the woman after just hearing that. Do y'all feel like it's too slow of a pace is not good and you can lose attraction over time? Or sometimes you need to be kind of like quick with it?
Like too slow to be in a relationship with someone?
Yeah, like actually putting out your intention to what you want. Or is that like an age thing?
I feel like it is an age thing, I believe, because I'm pretty sure I'm older than everybody. So like I feel like dating with intention is very important at my age.
So it's like now earlier in life, that's not really like something that's actually done. Why do you think that is nowadays?
I don't know if that's the case. Like I've always wanted to be married with kids. When I was 23, I was married, but I never had any kids and I still don't have any. So, but it doesn't mean I don't want them. It's just all about waiting and finding the right person. Mm-hmm. And I feel like we are in such a toxic dating environment nowadays that it's pretty hard to find someone kind of genuine. Or if I do find men that always want to be in a relationship with me, I don't reciprocate the feeling. So something that's off for me.
Gotcha. And what do you think that needs to be done in this nowadays era to make sure everybody's like on the same playing field? Like, what do y'all think is missing in the sense of women?
I mean, for me, like intentions are always up front.
Yeah.
Intentions.
They always need to be up front. If you're not looking for something serious, let that woman know, because a lot of men don't have a problem with wasting their time. They do not. Let's be honest. Men will spend years in relationships with women that they see no future with. Yeah, but they won't ever marry her. That's what they do. Women, technically, most of them, they want to be married. So they need to date with intention. If a man tells you, I don't want a relationship, believe what that man's saying. Don't think in your mind that you can change his mind. Because some women still have this mentality where, oh, I can go ahead and change his mind. No, you cannot. You can't.
What you about to say, Chills?
No, I was just saying, I think that's weird. Like, I've never, not never. I mean, obviously I was a teenager, but like, for the most part, I've never dated as an adult without the intention of like, all right, I'm trying to build a life with you. You know what I mean?
Great, though. Like, were you like?
And like, I know they do it. You know what I mean? My homeboys do that shit, and I'm just like, that's kind of a waste of time. Like, real talk. You feel me?
The thing about it is that, like, think about it and how we were born and raised too, and how women conditioned. Hey, you got to find a man when you're young, because once you get older, it's not it. Versus men, wait until you get older, and the older you get, the more you're gonna get it. And so basically, we got more than enough time. Because, like, for instance, if I'm 60 and I still look good because I'm black, I don't crack. Right. I can feel a young woman at the end of the day. Versus an older woman, she can't really do that because that's gonna look like, what is this?
I guess I want somebody around my age, so that's why, like, I don't. You know what I mean? Because, like, all right, now this is probably the more like crazy side of it, but it's the truth. It's like, I don't want to waste time, because it's like, do you really want to like end up in a relationship when you're like 40 and look back at that woman and be like, dang, she was so beautiful and she's always been around, and I missed her in her prime when she was ready to run around and have fun and everything. You know what I mean? Like, what I want to miss that just so I can finally settle down in my 40s. You know what I mean? I want to miss all this time. I want to have kids when I'm like 40. Like, nah, bro. Like, I'm trying to do that now. I'm trying to build that family unit now. You know, so I'm trying to make my mistakes and learn and get better and build with somebody now. Not like,
we all make mistakes though. I think once we get to a point of not making too many mistakes, we feel like that's the time to start having stuff. I feel like that's what it is. We all making mistakes because we all growing. In order to grow, you got to make mistakes to know that you're
Yeah,
growing.
yeah, I think we're gonna make mistakes for the rest of our life. Human error is just, you know what I mean. So it's like I just feel like that's always been a shortcoming. But what do women think about that? I want to know what you think about it, Malia.
You said about the shortcomings?
Yeah, like do you think that um a lot of women get cold feet because they feel like they're not done making mistakes, like they're not done having like a lot of shortcomings in life, and that's what makes them unsure and have cold feet early on, like
I
when they're in their
can't I can't
30s?
really answer that because like I said, I was married young. Like I'm a certified lover girl, but I'm only a certified lover girl if I feel like you fit my whole package. I don't settle. Like you said, you don't want to be 40 having kids. That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be having kids at 40 because I'm
No
38 now.
offense. No, there's nothing wrong with that. I put that
It's
out there.
okay. I'm not mad about it. But and that's fine because I feel like I've lived my life. I've made my mistakes in choosing men and I've had my lessons to learn. So
So
I don't
then
know about.
I guess a good way to ask the question I'm asking is there any regret is fine, like everybody has them. So do you feel like there that you have a bit of regret from like when you were younger, when you were like in your 20s and probably getting cold feet when things were going well, but it was going too well and you weren't used to that yet? No?
No, but I will say this. I had this discussion with my best friend the other day, and I always start to think of the beginning of the end with everyone. I think it's just for me, I personally I don't like being hurt at all. Like if I could cut you out before you hurt me, you probably will go. Like at some point in time. So no, I don't know. I don't know about the cold feet. I don't know about that one.
Gotcha.
Not for me.
Understand. What about Vera? Everything been heard so far, Vera. What is your take? Everything.
So I have a question for her, based on your last comment. So is it safe to say that because of your past experiences, you're the type of person that generally just has their guard up all the time? So you don't enter into relationships or situations just kind of like giving the person not your all in the beginning, but giving them, the full you because of that.
Yeah, I tread lightly, very much so. I try to tread lightly because I know like how I love. So I don't want to be hurt. I don't like the feeling of being sad, depressed, none of that. So if I reciprocate what a man gives me is what I should say.
So do you say you have like a time frame on when like okay, I might can creep a little bit more and more, or it's more based upon his actions?
It's more based upon the man's actions. Like I'm not that girl that just goes based off of what a man tells me. I'm looking at how you move because your actions are going to show me everything. So if you're putting in the effort and you're doing everything that you're saying that you're going to do and you're moving in the intention with the intention that I feel that you need to move with, then yes, my guard will slowly come down. But still it's going to be kind of up just a little bit because I don't want to be hurt.
Gotcha.
And heartbreak comes. We all know that, like platonic or romantic, it's gonna come. Yeah, but I just try to protect myself from it as much as I possibly can.
I would say that's the thing that I don't think you guys caught that, Jim, but it's more so based upon the woman nowadays are evolving based upon understanding. The saying back in the day is like women fall in love with what they hear, men fall in love with what they see. Nowadays, women are starting to be like, I don't care about what you're saying. I need to see your actions. It's not about your words. It's not about your appearance all the time. It's about what you do.
Nope. Exactly.
And I don't think I understand it. It's evolving. That's crazy, ain't it? It's about what you're doing, brother. It ain't about what you're saying. I don't care about that.
So, and I agree with you. And I don't remember his name, the person that talked about his current relationship and the way that they are handling the process and going through things. I agree with that. I think that's a great thing just because women are evolving and you have a lot of women that are trying to compete with men and be, like men. So I agree with him. I like the way that's going. And I don't think that is a way that is something that deter women in those situations, because if he's given the same energy she's given, they're doing great. And women just need to know that they're giving this, they're getting the same energy that they're giving off.
Exactly. That's it.
I think that's dope. Like I'll be honest, like, you know, I've been off my shits lately. Like I went through a super traumatic year, like, so I was really, but the girl I've been talking to, like, she kind of snapped me out of it. Like she put me right back on what I was on to begin with. You know what I mean? And like that's what kind of like kicked me back into that mentality of like, I want to take this really at a pace and build and learn, because it's like, all right, now I can see if we're matching energy. You know what I mean? Like now I'm messing up right now. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Like I quit vaping. I just wanted to drop the nicotine, but I realized the withdrawal was getting crazy. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but I was like super high wired when I got on here. So I was like, let me pace myself out of it instead. But a lot of things that I wasn't doing, I'm back at it. And, you know, it feels much more natural to me this way. And I think that's why it's important to me to take it slow, because at least that way she can see my progress, I can see her progress, and we can see if we're on the same page at all. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So much
I
less.
think now, totally understand. I think nowadays, I think it's starting to become more separate of the good men nowadays, and it's not based upon words, based upon men who's actually doing actions that's consistent with their words. So it's starting to evolve. You got to do both. You know what I'm saying? And it's I think it's pretty fun. Like for me, that's why when I tell her, like, when even you guys, whenever I'm dating, like, it's not hard for me, because it's more so hard, not really for me, but it's more so hard for the woman to comprehend. Like, look, I do cook, I do this and like that. Cool. They can't comprehend that that's actually real, because they've been told that so many times, and it just never ended that way, or never became that way. And then when it actually happens, it's like, this ain't true. Something got to be wrong. They start to look for something ain't right, because it's been so long. And so typically, the magic words that's being told to me is that I'm a breath of fresh air. And I'd be like, why is that? I'm like, I'm not doing anything hard. Even just giving eye-to-eye contact, no phone or nothing, just having a communicative conversation. It's not even a common thing, because nowadays,
sometimes it's not. Yeah.
And it's
a red flag.
It's a red flag to have a normal.
It's a red flag.
And we're the last generation who actually has social, skills built up. Nowadays, people all in their phones, games stuff. People have time together by playing games with each other. Smash Bros. Yeah, that's their date. Like, I'm like, nothing wrong with that, but goddamn. I just say that to really understand, like, Chios, from this point forward, look to be a man and not just words, but actions. Or sometimes you can't have to be a man of words like that no more, just be action. That's more powerful nowadays, because that's something that's becoming absent. And that's why you see women are evolving into more what they are, because they see the absence in men.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. Like I said, like that's what I've been on. I've been on, like, just, if I say I'm gonna do something, I do it, or I try my best at it. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like today was the longest I've gone without nicotine. Like, and I felt good, you know what I mean? But I also felt bad. So I'm like, all right, how do I continue to do what I say I'm gonna do, but at the right pace, so I don't crash out? You know what I mean? Because I could have cold turkey and gone crazy, or I can, have this right now and go and buy my patch tomorrow and just wean myself off, so I don't have to turn back. You know what I mean?
One day at a time. Mr. Outlaw, man.
One day at a time.
Mr. Outlaw, man, what are some takeaways so far, man, since you've been listening in, brother? Mr. Outlaw, Todd.
Tyler.
T-Free. All right, I guess he's getting busy. But nevertheless, just a few more questions I wanted to ask you guys before I let you guys go, because I don't want to make this too long, because this thing could be a long time. But nevertheless, to really get more into the depthness of it all, I'm curious to know the women answer in this regard. I'm curious to know, like, what key top 3 things y'all feel needs to be fixed in a man to make them get more desirable again? Things. Well, top things.
I probably have like 2. I know these are not really my personal experiences, because, like, if a man is not a provider, that's automatically a red flag. Even though I can provide for myself very well, it's a red flag. So
I don't think men can be providers anymore. We got to evolve and be nurturers.
I don't know, because, like I said earlier, like, these men nowadays want to go 50-50. I'm not 50-50 in with no man. That's a roommate to me. And then another thing, a lot of men like to say women are masculine, Black women are masculine. but they're not understanding why women are sometimes in masculine energy. And then in return, and I'm not trying to offend anyone because I come from a single parent household myself, but I noticed that a lot of Black men that are raised by their mothers, they have feminine energy. They have feminine energy because they don't, that male figure is missing in their life, or just, you know, any man just to help them when they were younger, show them how to be a man. It's missing. Like they do some feminine things, hanging up the phone. That's stuff that women do.
Yeah,
For example,
it's
like,
unfortunate. And I was just telling her that I think it was yesterday we was talking about how we're all conditioned into what to think of a Black woman based upon TV shows and movies and stuff like that. And I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, you know what? All this time, honestly, I never really dated a Black woman at all. I've been in the military and I've been all around the world. I had a Jamaican woman. I had, you know, all kind of, you know, tastes of flavors, but in a sense of a Black woman, you know, and I told her she was like the first one I actually dated. I'm like, I like the support of a Black woman. I fucked with it. That is actually different from other ones. I don't know why. I do know why it's so different, but nevertheless, it's just a different type of organicness. But we the same. I would say, not to say race. I just think how powerful that would be spiritually bonding. So that's pretty dope. But I just said it to say like how my image of my conditioning definitely like, you know, I ain't trying to deal with no difficult woman, but I ain't really have a history standpoint to say that.
I mean, like also too, there's like there was this documentary that I was watching, and they were saying that in regards to TV, like Black women are either the mammy, the angry Black woman, or the whore. Yep. And that's typically the three parts that we typically play within movies. It's very rare when we're doing like a leading like role where we're like in the chair of success and everything like that. And that's just kind of what the media does to us. And then also too with Black men, they're always making a Black man broke, in jail, dead. Like that's just what it is.
Oh, super rich.
Well, that barely, like it just started to do that. Like if you just look at what like we've been watching throughout all these years, we've been programmed without even noticing.
People don't understand too. The old days methods of how the system has been made to keep us down. It's advanced because of technology. Now every single day we're seeing all kind of stuff on the media, IG, all the stuff, and it's all with Black people, and it's so powerful. That's because like, damn, that's me. So why would I want to deal with another version of me or another essence of me? That's stupid. But it's unfortunate, and it's the error. So how do we go about undoing that? It got to be collective. I was telling her it got to be a collective unit. I'm not about to be on the one. Who was? I think I was talking to somebody that was very powerful for me. I was like, look, I would love to open up millions and millions of people, but they're going to take my ass out. The reason why I say that, I would never be a Martin Luther King. And they assassinated his ass. And he had all the Black people around him. And they had all that Black, and he was assassinated. I'm like, who the hell am I going to be? Like, bro, I'm not about to be taken out for nobody. And we all need to be a collective unit of being together. But unfortunately, until that day comes, then it's all talk. I mean, and I don't, like I said, that's the absence. We all talk right now, but ain't no action showing nothing about that. And we're going to keep talking, and that's what they're going to keep doing. And it's just unfortunate because nothing becomes real until law. But even with law, is it really real until the actions reflect that law? So it's unfortunate, but that is something to think about too. And what is your top 3 things that you think men are missing?
Well, I'm not gonna name top 3.
What are your top things?
I honestly think just simple communication. I feel like men like intention and communication, like they don't really state what they're doing, how they're gonna do it, and they don't communicate. And I never understood that because I'm the one that's like, no, what's up? What are we doing? But I think that's like the biggest thing starting off because men, like, you know, we were saying earlier, men will waste years and time knowing that they don't even want to be with that person. And it's like, that's insane to me. Like, to that thought process is insane to me. I'm like, we do.
When we think, we do think. When we let it rip. All right, let's put the rest.
So yeah, so like stuff like that. Like, I think the biggest thing is just, like, to me, is the communication and like state your intentions, state where you want to go and how you want to go about it. And honestly, the thing is, you never know when you're stating those things if a woman's okay with that or not. If you're telling that you want to just be a fuck buddy or whatever, well, shit, I guess that's what I was looking for too. That's all I need. You know, if you're just looking for somebody to go out and just experience with like dates and just experience different little things with. Some women might be okay with that adventure. You know, if people are looking for the marriage, okay, cool. They're looking for having kids, okay, cool. But give women chance and choice.
Exactly. Choice. Yep.
Yeah, give them choice to make that decision if they want to stay or not versus wasting their time. That's why a lot of women, unfortunate to say, we become really bitter when we have this thought over here and this man has this thought all the way over there, and it's not aligning with one another. That's just my biggest thing. State your intentions. Men need to do that more often.
I would say too, the absence of that giving women a choice, but a lot of men are not used to a woman coming very submissive now. We're like really submissive, and even more so they're not used to even having leadership. Like, hold on, like I don't even know what to do. What like it's more so that pressure of understanding, bro. You gotta do what you need to do. But even more so, understand a woman's coming to you now. She wants you to lead her. See what's you gotta lead her. But even more so, men are not used to that anymore either. Right. They're not used to leading nobody but to themselves and their own selfish reasons.
And that's what a lot of women I hear say. Black men are always talking about women being submissive, but you don't know how to be a leader.
Right.
You don't. You can't even lead your own household by yourself.
And I also
how you gonna lead a woman?
I also too think about like the examples that were given. What did they see around them? Did they have a 2-parent household, or did their grandparents grow old together? You know what I mean? Or at least church members or whatever. Like, what did those men or just women see growing up? Because I also too like I firmly believe like sometimes the things that you've seen growing up or whatever can definitely condition you as well. Because like I know for a fact, like for me, my parents are married. The only reason why their marriage ended is because my dad passed away, right? But I guarantee you, if my dad was still alive, them niggas will still be married. Like, that's just what it is. Like, that's just really what it is. And so, like, I have that belief. I'm like, okay, well, shoot, longevity and commitment in that relationship. And that seems nice. I think I want that. You know what I mean? Versus my friends that I grew up with, that I've known for 15 plus years that have single parent households. They're like, I'm okay with the baby's father. I'm okay with a long-term partner. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's okay with whatever decision that you make. But then also too, is this decision based upon, you know, what you've seen? Or is this what you actually, you know what I mean? Like, what do you want? What do you actually want? So I do like kind of think about that as well.
I believe I come from a single family household, and I feel like my friends, like some of them, I feel like they're baby mamas. And when they get so mad when I say, I do not want to be someone's baby mama, they get mad because I watched my mom struggle with 2 kids. You know what I mean? So it's like, why would I want to put my child through that?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I get what you're saying. That's what I say. It all goes back to the 2-parent household for me. I believe that kids deserve a 2-parent household. They need that.
I mean, even more so, just a single parent, they have to be something that's not sustainable. And even if they're sustainable, they not a normal. they're not. They're different.
Yeah, because like I think about it like this, like Lord forbid if I was a single parent. I know that if I had a son, a Black son at that, because my son is Black, I can't teach him the same things and values and everything like that. I can only tell him so much, but I don't know if he's going to take that into consideration. I don't know if he's going to like listen to me or whatever. But if I had a daughter, yeah, I can condition her up and do the best I can to be the best human being. And then hopefully she goes out in the world and does her thing. But my son, unfortunate to say, he has a strike against him because the fact of the matter is that since I'm a woman, I can only do so much.
You can't teach a man how to be a man, and I'm a woman. That just doesn't make sense.
Right.
I can definitely say nowadays too, society has been technology, I would say, has conditioned us to be more followers than leaders. It's made it that much more apparent. But even more so too in the longevity of relationships nowadays, think about it. There was just more of that structure all around. So everybody support each other to keep fighting, sis, to keep fighting, my guy, you know, keep pushing. Nowadays, it ain't really a thing like that. It's not really normal. So who can really support each other to keep going? Everybody's like, "Ma, leave with that." Just like the video we watched months ago, you know, people are practicing divorce by dating. Once you don't like it for her, keep moving. Once you like it for her, keep moving. Once you like it for her, keep moving. Get what you can, get what you can. Everybody's practicing divorce. Nobody's actually practicing intentional dating. Nobody's actually like dating with a purpose and keep looking
I noticed this too. I was listening to this podcast the other day, and it was about it was actually about like this doula and like raising kids and everything like that. And they were saying that it's very important to like raise children like in with a village, even if it's like a single parent. Is people on the West Coast, like on the West, they have a really hard time allowing people in to like be a part of that union. And I feel like a lot of people, especially on like in California and stuff like that, I feel like, it's funny because neighbors don't know each other. And like, but it's funny because when I was in Oklahoma, I was like, my neighbor knew us. Like, you know what I mean? And I seen like, I went over and saw 2-parent homes and stuff like that when my dad was not around with certain things, you know what I mean? And I just feel like, I don't know, just certain examples is, I don't know, like certain examples are so pivotal within like raising people or just when you're being raised. So
Sure. Definitely understand that, man. And of course, this is always a good topic to discuss in a healthy manner, and nobody being disrespected, and everybody being heard and respected. I like to have conversation. Oh no, I didn't make no PowerPoint. I want this to be more free flow, but usually I make a presentation. But this Thursday, I'll make sure I have a presentation. But nevertheless,
I just remember, it was something that Zena said. It was this is for every woman in here, of course, but my question is like, at what point in your life, or at what point do you think there's too much mystery to a man? You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of men intentionally try to be mysterious, but I don't know if that's really a modern application. You know what I mean? Because I've never really understood that. Like, of course, I'm just, everybody takes time to express themselves. So there's a natural amount of mystery to everybody you don't know when you're getting to know them. But at what point is a person being too mysterious?
I feel
if I ain't never been to your house, that's a red flag.
But it's like I feel like it's time. Like if it's been too much time that's passed, it's like, damn, like I've been nothing but open and honest, and you can't even tell me, a little bit about your family, or you can't even tell me just a little bit about your favorite childhood memory or whatever.
It's like the communication is not there. That's a red flag.
Yeah,
that's too mysterious.
I would say this though, like women tend to be more open than men. Yeah. Because men have to show so much he has to offer for women to even glance at that. And once y'all open and curious stuff like that, like, yeah, I'm with it. Let's go. That's kind of cool. The man, like, yo, I don't even really know you like that yet. I need to see some things happen and stuff like that. Because women can open up to them. They don't open up to you, unfortunately.
I really don't open up to men like that.
I was just about to say, I don't think like
I don't do that.
I don't do that. Yeah.
I think the crazy thing is that I'm actually about to make an audio program based upon how to be open and how to be vulnerable. That's two different things.
I can be vulnerable with someone once I know I can trust them to an extent, because I don't trust no one 100%. But once I know I can trust you just a little bit with my feelings, then sure, I can open up and be a little vulnerable to you. But just outright front, no.
But that's what I'm saying.
That takes time.
That's because people don't provide secure, like that safety, like
the space.
Yeah, it's like, how can I sit there and be vulnerable with you if you haven't really made me feel safe with you? Because the fact of the matter is that depending on, I don't know how you get when you're mad, and if you're going to throw that back in my face, and that's why such and such and such and such, and that's why your daddy ain't here. What? Like, you know what I mean? That happens. And unfortunately to say, women do that more to men. And I understand men feel that way in regards to not opening up and having the mysterious ways and stuff like that. But if I'm asking for just the small things, like for me as a woman, I'm pretty patient with a lot of different things. But if I'm asking about just small things in regards to your childhood memories and just those small little happy memories, like we all have those. Like
outside of being like a provider, what makes you feel safe enough to be vulnerable or open with a man though? Like,
I guess it depends on the man, because I can't sit there and speak for all men, but I can like speak. Okay, let me just speak.
You can't. So what is it? No. Like not all men. We need to know exactly what type of man.
So I'll give you a prime example. So like for instance, there's this dude that like I've been kind of like dealing with for like the last year, but we're just friends though. But like when we do hang out, which
What
is
type
not,
of friends? Is it like intimacy sharing? Then it's not a friend, it's a vibe. Yeah,
it
vibe.
is a vibe. It's a vibe. But he's going through some things right now, so I'm not even gonna even get into
That's
it.
fine.
But the point I'm trying to make is that I like men that are both logical and have a little sense of emotional to them. Because I'm an emotional woman, but I don't, like I said, I don't give that off and I don't show that to every man. So for me, the last time I saw him, he was like, I could see right through all that hardness that you have on the outer. You're soft on the inside. Yeah. So then we just started talking about some stuff. And I was like, dang, like it just got me thinking. I was like you said, like she said, like he created a safe space for me to allow myself to be vulnerable with him. And a lot of men don't do that. They don't know how to be emotional because they feel like if I'm too emotional, I'm not a man. And I like men that just are a little bit of both.
I have a good example too. Like, for instance, my ex, I was going through some things mentally in the beginning of 2020. There was a lot of different situations that were happening or whatever. And basically, like, I was upset. I was crying. I thought I was safe enough to express my feelings and my emotions to him or whatever. And it just got to a point where he said, Zena, you're stressing me out. Now, when I received that, it hurt, but then also too, I respected it because he's telling me his truth or whatever. But then it made me feel as a woman, you can't handle my mentals, like my all my mental states, you know what I mean? And I just don't feel comfortable with you at this point now. Now, we're going back to the whole, let me go ahead and have that mystery. Let me go ahead, you know what I mean? Versus like Caleb, I can say Caleb offered that security for me. He made me safe. Like the first time we hung out or whatever, we're talking for hours, and more so I'm talking for hours.
Swear to God, I'm about to say what? Hey, I'm like, look, I gotta go somewhere.
And I'm just like, I'm just going for it. But it was just like, okay, he made me feel comfortable. It was eye contact. It was being in tune and like just responding to what I was saying versus having that blank ass face and just kind of like, huh? Well,
right. Exactly. It makes me like know
that you how was
are
it?
concerned.
Even me talking, how was it? Like, remember the first time we met at the rooftop? How was that whenever we got to the rooftop?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. When we had our conversation at that function, I was like, see, you are creating like a safe space. Like we're just sitting here just casually talking about just like what relationships, whatever. You make me feel comfortable enough to speak with you. And a lot of men, they don't have that at all. They don't have that.
I think unfortunately, it's not. What'd you say?
Crazy. No, I just think that's crazy. Like, cause it's true. Like, I be seeing like I told him, like my homeboy, he was tired, so he just went to sleep. But like, yeah, I was just telling him that earlier. I'm like, bro, you got to be like more open and like talk to people and like create like conversation with women if you're trying to meet women. You know what I mean? Like you got to do.
I'm about to. That's what I was going to create. I'm gonna create an audio program to how to be open and how to be vulnerable. Two different things. It'll be more. So I think, unfortunately, men are missing how to create a safe space. So I guess I create an audio program for that too as well. Even for me, it's so simple that I've been doing it for so long. But men are losing that, and no other men are talking about how to do that. They talking about how to get to women and stuff like that. What to say, how to like who. But that's not organic. And men need to know organically. Yeah, men organically need to make them themselves. But better yet, it's based upon having social skills.
Yeah.
It's being lost and it's being filled in. Like, if I don't know how to talk, we can talk a little bit cool. I'm just get on my phone into this awkward silence.
Right.
We talking again and stuff like that. I'm like, bro, what?
So many dates like that. Oh my God. Just sitting at the dinner table and we're just kind of just there. And I'm just like, why are we on our phones right now? Like,
when I go to public, I literally just look around. I'll be like, bro, everybody's on their phone. I'm looking around trying to get magazine. I'm trying to be like back in the day type of vibe when everybody be like, yo, young buck, how you doing? I'm like, yo, shout out.
Nobody's enjoying one another. Like, it's like humanity is just not a thing.
Yeah.
Thanks. Nah, real thought, like, cause he was saying that he's like, you're the one with all the homegirls and stuff. He's like, you don't have anybody I can meet, so I can talk. I'm like, even if I introduce you to them, you're not gonna say nothing. Like you're not gonna say too much. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like some good advice for your friend too, if he's not like quick to open up or whatever. Like create a list, like create like a leveled list. Like, okay, this is basic. This is a little bit more intense. Okay, this is some deep shit. Like what he's going to, tell somebody or whatever throughout time. And honestly, the basic skills, just get that down pat and you can go very far.
Go ahead, Mr. Outlaw. You unmuted yourself. Welcome, man.
Man, hey, I apologize. I was on the phone for so damn long. This dude talked my ear off, but I'm here, man. I'm here.
Have you been listening though?
I've been listening and obviously listening on the phone call as well. So I just need a couple fill-ins, I just need a quick little rundown and then I'm good.
The great thing about it now, I'm recording all treasure chests, so people are gonna be able to replay it back. So that's
beautiful.
And Ty, those curls, Ty.
These curls is giving, you know what I'm saying?
But nevertheless, now, right now, we're getting more into the details of understanding. Unfortunately, say nowadays, men don't know how to create a safe space for a woman to actually be feminine. And in the sense of being feminine, submissive, and in the sense of being submissive, it's like, why am I being a man who don't know how to lead me?
Okay.
It's kind of unfortunate, but nevertheless, right now, it was more talking in depthness of a man don't really know how to be open and vulnerable. And I was kind of expressing, I'm gonna look to create an audio book on that. But nevertheless, for yourself, if you had any questions about, two women in the subject matter of a woman's narrative mind, what would you want to ask them?
If I had a question to ask a woman.
Yeah, woman about her narrative mind, in the sense of when I'm saying that, it's like they never stop thinking. They always want to be connected to everything. They can't disconnect. They always want to be open and talking. So if you have any questions pertaining to connection and stuff like that.
I'm trying to think. That's a pretty deep.
We on the deep thing, man. We was on.
Yeah. That's a pretty deep topic. I'm trying to think of a question for that of a woman's narrative.
But nevertheless, Chio, so far, man, what's been some of your key takeaways so far?
Everything. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is different.
Yeah, man. Your church just evolving, bro. It's gonna keep evolving, bro.
Yeah, this one was just everything. It's like it's like when you ask me key takeaways, what happens with me is even if I knew something already, it's nice to have confirmation. You know what I mean? So it's just everything is a takeaway at the end of the day.
It's even more so when new people come on, and it's always damn, it's not just us. It's just more and more people adding to the bunch. Especially, I told you I was going to add some powerful women on here. I had some other ones, they didn't show up, so that's they lost. I'm cool. You got your moment to shine. You're always welcome here, of course. But Mr. But all right, Todd, what's up, bro? You had a question?
No, man, I don't have a question this time. I think I'm gonna pull a Xena and I'm gonna just say that I appreciate everybody's input. And I'll be at the next one on Thursday.
I hate you, Ty. I do. I just be like, let's just end this off, follow each other's social medias, whatever.
Yeah.
I'll be here at this time, all day, baby, all day. That's just what it is.
Yeah. Also, y'all drop your social medias, man. Social media. Y'all gonna see this girl fancy. Watch. Y'all gonna see this woman is fancy over here. Watch.
Miss Malia.
Miss Malia.
I like it.
Thank you.
Is anybody in here from Florida? I doubt it. I know, Ty, you out of West End too.
What happened?
You on the West too, right?
The West Coast?
Yep. So I'm the only person on the East Coast here. That's crazy.
Also, too, if you guys are trying to find, Caleb did repost everybody's, whoever reposted his story. So just go back to Caleb's story, and then if you guys want to follow that way, that's probably the easiest bet.
Yeah, I'm making it more easier for y'all.
So.
But Melina, what is your Malia? Well, my pronunciation. I got an accent, man. Look, I'm from Louisiana. That's what. Never. I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna call Miss M.
I'm gonna need you to get your life, okay?
Can I do Miss M?
Because you're making me sound like somebody auntie. No.
Yeah.
You got bars like auntie. Okay. You got knowledge like him. All right. I'm gonna leave alone.
I'm not gonna play with you.
What was some of your key takeaways on your first time coming to Treasure Chest?
I mean, I pretty much like me and Miss Zena here, we agreed upon just about everything. Like, it's just that men just need to be a little bit more emotional and learn communication skills. You want a woman to be submissive, go ahead and give her something to lead. And then you don't complain that women are in masculine energy when they have to do for themselves, like when we have to take over.
Also, too, another thing real quick, and if you're not all the way there, but you're working towards it, we see that effort. Like, we do see that effort, and some women are okay with sticking by that, and we do appreciate that. We do appreciate the growth, and sometimes we want to grow with you. So, if you're not a leader, and you're working your way up to the top of that or whatever, some women are okay with that. You don't have to have it all figured out right off the bat, but as long as you're trying to figure it out, that's something more than nothing.
Facts.
For sure. So yeah, of course, man, I appreciate you guys coming. Obviously, it's always a dope time, and nevertheless, more and more people come to the next one. But nevertheless, I'm starting to record them, so you guys can always have them now to start to be played back.
I have a question.
Oh,
I cannot follow Malia, what's your Instagram at this point? Because there are people to repost it. I tried that advice.
I am Malia. I am Malia.
You can tell which one.
I am,
and then MAHLIA.
So funny. Yeah. Any other questions, Chios?
No, Ty, he floating on something. He got something going on.
Did you smoke a blunt, Ty?
No, I'm not floating on nothing.
Okay, man. He usually floating. But nah, nevertheless, y'all. Yeah, it's always it's gonna keep evolving, man. Treasure Chest as always, but even more so, I'm gonna start to make sure a woman can attend here for free. Obviously the OGs, you ain't gotta pay. For the new people that come on, they gotta pay. But it's more so to start to grow this, community more and push it more, get it more complex. When it gets to like over 20 plus, I can start to do breakout groups and everybody got their own type of group, and we all got our own topics and stuff. We can start to like push more objectives for it. So it's going to start to evolve. So I'm excited for the OGs to be here, and even the new women to come aboard, the ones I like, of course. And nevertheless, just keep strong. I think this is a dope topic to discuss with dope, like-minded individuals. Some people are gonna have to replay it, like Mr. Outlaw, but nevertheless, it's some good stuff to replay. And yeah, man, y'all be safe, and I hope y'all come to Thursday, and I'll put out the topic at hand. I need to make sure I'm keeping on y'all toes. It's some stuff we ain't never been over. So it's gonna be dope. I'm gonna have a presentation for that one.
And tell a friend. Tell a friend, guys. Like, tell homegirl, tell homeboy. Come on.
Miss M, I know you got some people who need to come here. I know that.
Did you just call me Miss M again?
Yeah. Capital M.
And he said that
you inspired. Okay.
Like,
she like this motherfucker.
Oh my God.
But nah, man. Yeah, I hope y'all tell some people. Just hit me up if y'all want some people to come, and I can add them to the list, of course. And yeah, we go from there, man. So with that being said, y'all have an amazing day, man. And y'all keep pushing forward.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.